Good morning, everybody. My goodness, it is finally time. How are we all doing? What is going on? We already have, over 300 people in here? Good morning, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here with me. Out of any of the places that you could have watched this. Just as a heads up, I have to be a little bit quiet, at least as we're starting this. It's still quite early where I'm at, but I was not going to miss this. We're going to share this moment together and see whatever's coming in this stream. They're going to start it up very soon, so we're just going to do a quick little hello here, and then we're going to jump on over to the broadcast. Have to scroll back in chat a minute and thank Devin for the $10 super chat, my guy. Thank you so much. Said, yo, Rogue, what do you think we're going to hear coming up? That is the $1 million question. Isn't again, Devin, thank you very much for that, man. I'm going to drop a poll in the chat because this is the question that I want to ask all of you. And I'm very curious to see what people are going to say. Let's see, can I start a poll here? All right. I'm going to ask what is going to be revealed with the snow teasers. We're putting Survival 2.0 as one option, because that's what a lot of people are saying. I'm going to put just a weather change, because that's what some people think. Or something else. Whoops. All right, the poll is in the chat. And if you're able to vote, I'm very curious. I think I know what's going to win, but I'm very curious what people are going to say. Boss Dog with the 38-month member message. Thank you, my guy. Said, good morning, RG family. What's going on, man? 38 months. Thank you so much for that, dude. That's insane. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, if we take a look at the poll, there's currently 100. Well, the votes are still coming in. Oh, wait a second. The votes are rolling in. If you want to vote on the poll in the chat, now's your time. Devin as well with the 2 months at classified status tier or membership. Thank you, dude. I feel like maybe I just missed a chat from you. I haven't even seen you say anything else. So, and Devin, don't worry. I will actually get to what my prediction is as we go into this. But again, thank you for being a classified tier member. Thank you for the dono. Very kind of you. Chris said, I'm not awake enough for this yet. Me either, really. But we're here. We're going to make it happen. The panel, Sean, is in about 15 minutes. 15 minutes from right now. So we're just getting ready for this. So while that poll is finishing up, here's what I wanted to go over. The 2 teasers we have is this one that was released back in June. This one they released just like a week ago, which of course shows another agent by themselves trudging through the snow towards the Capitol building. Interesting that the Capitol building does not seem to have this tarp over it in this image. Does anyone notice that? Very curious. Shade Raptor coming in with the 20, man. Thank you so much. He said, I'm back. Managed to catch a stream despite work. My tattoos are looking sick, but planning another one in October. Good stuff, man. Yeah, for anyone who's not in the member chat in our Discord, Shade Raptor got a pretty sick rogue tat. And it was looking quite awesome. Dude, thank you for the 20. That's incredibly kind of you. Good morning to you. Happy you were able to make it to the stream. It's going to be a big one, is my thought, regardless of what happens. As well, we have Dark Influence 5072 coming and joining Rogue Studios. Welcome, my friend. Thank you so much for choosing to support like that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And then Rattler, my goodness, guys, Rattler coming in with another 20, said, morning, y'all, excited for this and hope y'all have a great day. I hope you have one too, man. That's incredibly generous of you. Thank you so much. I'm trying not to raise my voice too much. I don't want to get people mad at me. Rattler, Influence, Shade Raptor, thank you guys so much. Y'all are truly the best. The thing I was going to tweet out this morning, I didn't have time to because, again, it's quite early. How, regardless of what happens today, how wild is it that, this is the next image that I wanted to show. How wild is it that we're coming up on 10 years since the Division 1 came out, and of course there's been bumps and hiccups along the way, but for the most part, we've had consistent updates and content for a decade for this franchise. A lot of games and franchises don't get that opportunity, even if the Division has had some rough patches, even if there's been some misses. Like, a decade is wild. And I'm just so grateful that I get to still be here and enjoy the game and now have a community of 120,000 people to share that love and excitement with. So that's a long-winded way of saying Rattler, Influence, Shade Raptor, Devin, thank you all for being a part of that, and everybody else who is joining us here today to watch the stream. We're now over 600 people. Welcome in, folks. Welcome, welcome. We are getting to it in just a moment once they spin things up. All right, let's take a look at the poll now that it has been up for a minute. So with 350 votes, 48% of y'all think that they are going to announce Survival 2.0 today. 22%, the percentages are still changing, but about 23% think it is just going to be a weather change, that they're just going to implement snow and leave it at that. And 30% think it's going to be something else. Honestly, I thought it was going to be skewed higher towards Survival. That's probably good to keep our expectations tempered. So I'm going to end the poll there. Because that's what I wanted to really talk about just before we jump into this. Although, good lord, we still have things coming in the chat. Wolf with another 20 said, just showing some love, man. Thank you for that. Dude, that's very kind. Thank you so much. And then Joe Ramirez as well, joining up as a member of Rogue Studios too. Welcome, welcome. Wolf, Joe, that's incredibly kind of you guys. And good lord, people. Destiny as well with another 20. We haven't even gotten to the presentation yet. Said, do you think the stretch goals are too much of a grind for the casuals and dad gamers to get the Lexington to turmoil? It's a good question, and I'm sure it's a topic that we're going to need to discuss more moving forward. I have a lot I could say. I'll break it down to this. Do I think the actual percentage drop rates are necessarily in the wrong spot? No, but I do think that they've diluted the loot pool by adding in all of the Loot Goblin event items, and I also think that they could implement some kind of system where after a certain period of time, if you've grinded a lot of the event and you haven't gotten what you wanted, you can build up some kind of currency and go to a vendor and get the one that you actually want. I think that would just be a smart thing for them to do. So do I think that the drop rates themselves are specifically the issue? I don't know, but I do think there are some things they could do to make the overall experience a lot better. Destiny, I'm sure we will talk about that more in future stuff. Thank you so much for the 20. That's incredibly kind. Rogue Family with the 10-month member message said, what up, Rogue? What's up, dude? Good morning. Happy Gamescom panel day. It's going to be big. Diamond. Guys, the chat is flooding right now. Diamond with the 10 gifted memberships. Thank you so much. Very good to see you. Thank you for being here. I don't even have time to shout the people out because Mr. West as well coming in with the 10. Rogue, you're my you're my guy. Love your content. Stay blessed. Mr. West, thank you for that. And Fury as well. 10 years of the Division, and it's been one hell of a ride. I would say so. Goodness. You know what? We're going to pull this out. Goodness gracious, people. Thank you for the generosity. You guys are insane. Fury, West, Diamond, Destiny, Joe, Wolf, Rattler, everybody from earlier. Thank you so much. Good lord. All right. It's almost time to switch over to the presentation. I had a whole thing planned, but who cares? We're going with it. We have 825 people watching right now. Welcome in, folks. So, only other thing I was going to say is my prediction before we go in. I think it is smart not to set your expectation that this is going to be, because a lot of people want it to be Survival 2.0, everything we want. They've finally done it. Do I hope it's that? Absolutely. Do I think setting yourself up for, if it's not that, I'm going to be devastated, is a good approach? Probably not. That said, they're marking the 10th anniversary as a huge thing. Let me switch back to the screen. If you watch this video that I put out 3 weeks ago, I kind of outlined pretty much this exact thing, where I was like, I think they're going to do something big for the 10th anniversary. I think there's a good likelihood it could be survival because they're going to pair that with the 10th anniversary. It's something that we've wanted for a long time. So it just seems like that might be what's on the way. Goodness me, people, the chat is flooding again. All right, let's switch over to Ubisoft's thing, and then I will continue. Yeah, they're setting up right now for Division. So I'm going to mute that just momentarily. I'm going to close out the rest of these tabs. We're going to full screen this bad boy. And we will turn... Actually, let's keep the audio really low for now. All right, if there's any audio or visual issues with watching the panel, please let me know, and I will address it. Going back to the chat, as I said, goodness me, people, Devin with another 20. Dude, thank you. You do not have to be that generous, man. That's insane. Here's to 10 years and to 10 more. I certainly hope so. I certainly hope so. And with Division 3 on the way, it seems likely. Dale with 10. Let's keep it going, boys. Thank you so much, my friend. Chris with the 15-month member message. So grateful I had the Lexington the first time. I know. Didn't have to go through the stretch goals. 15 months as a member, though, my friend. Thank you for that. Thank you for supporting my content and what I do. Norse Dad, join it up to Rogue Studios. Welcome, my friend. Thank you so much for that. And Destiny again said, much appreciated, brother. I agree the vendor idea would be a good move. And love from Texas. Thank you. Guys, I don't think I could scroll far up enough the list to thank everybody again. But, well, I will. Destiny, Norse, Dale, Devin, Fury, West, Diamond, and everybody else. Thank you so much for just being amazing. I'll leave it at that. The conference is about to start. We almost have 900 people in here watching. Again, thank you for choosing to share this stream and moment with me. If you've not yet hit the like button and you want to help support the stream in that way, it very much does so. Push it out to more people. Though, to be fair, I'm not sure how many more people we can get in here. We almost have 1,000 people watching. That's insane. Taken with another 5 gifted. Thank you, dude. Again, I'm trying not to get my voice too raised here. It's still not even 7 in the morning where I'm at. Taken, thank you so much. With Gamer Dude, Nerfed, Victim, Abstract, and Tenavad coming to Rogue Studios, courtesy of Taken. If any of you are here, please drop them a thank you, as well as if you were gifted a membership by Diamond earlier, a thank you would be appreciated. And anyone who has joined Rogue Studios this stream, you get badges, you get emotes, you get Discord access. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. I need to pull out my phone and set up my notes because it's time to do the thing. I'm not going to disable ad block. Sorry, Twitch. Here's a question for everybody. We know that Julian Garrity is at Gamescom right now. Do we think Julian's going to be on the couch? Is he a part of this panel? I really sincerely doubt we would hear anything about the Division 3, but we have to remember that his job is also to oversee everything in the Division. So if they are planning some kind of huge anniversary update, he could very well be instrumental in orchestrating that. Okay, Gamescom Day 2 panel recap. So many things are happening all at once. Okay, I've got my notes set up, which I'm just going to be taking on my phone. We've got that going. Shade Raptor coming in with another 20. You guys are too much. Raptor, thank you, my guy. Here's to the RogueGold community and 10 years of the Division into the future of the Division. Thank you, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Nerd said, doesn't franchise update typically mean new game? No. Not usually, honestly. Franchise update just means, like, what are they working on next? And, yeah, what we can look forward to. Holy hell. What is going on? Boss Dog. What the hell, man? Boss Dog coming in with the $100 donation. He said, I told 38 months is light work. Man, that is above and beyond. That is too much, dude. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That is insane. Today was just supposed to be about celebrating some big news, but instead, people are just coming out of the woodwork to send some love and appreciation. I couldn't be thankful enough, man. Thank you for that. That is insane. That is insane. DJ Pyro as well with the 30-month member message. Much love from an OG. Diamond with the 15. I've recently caught the hardcore division grind bug and really loved your content and coverage, so I wanted to show some love. Thanks for your content. Diamond, thank you for the dono, for the gifteds, for the membership. It's all more appreciated than I can say. Y'all are directly helping me keep doing what I'm doing, and I could not thank you more for that. So, again, good lord. Diamond, Boss Dog, Shade Raptor. Thank you guys. Shadow Hunter Gaming as well, joining up to Rogue Studios. Good God, people. Thank you for being so incredible. And Spawn called it out in chat. We have over 1,000 people watching now. I really did not think this stream was going to get that kind of buzz. I figured we'd add some people for sure, but this is insane, folks. We are about to get the reveal of what is up with the Division's snow content. I'm going to turn this up because I think it's almost time. They cut the camera in the corner. So if I'm delayed to calling out anything in the chat as we're going through, it's because I just want to make sure everyone can hear what's going on. Once they start, please let me know in the chat how the audio is, if I need to try and turn anything up. I mean, we're pretty close to, I have it at 90% right now, but if I need to crank it all the way, let me know. Hopefully it should be good though. Soko as well, joining up to Rogue Studios. Welcome. Thank you guys so much for your generosity. Truly, that's insane. Supporting at that level. Soko, Shadow, Diamond, Boss Dog. You guys are next level. Thank you, HMob Gaming. DJ coming in with a 5. Your content is what kept me smiling. Recovery from hip surgery. Good lord. 5 titanium anchors, much love. I'm so sorry I had to go through that, my friend, but that makes me do nothing but smile, knowing that my stuff was able to help in any kind of way. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for the 5. Certainly not needed. You know I would send you love for that either way. Thank you so much. I'm glad that your recovery is ongoing and hopefully going well. Destiny with another 5. What do you think of the new exotic sniper? Do you think sniper priority builds will be viable for legendaries and incursions? If they keep it at 125% amp to damage, I do, yeah. Because currently that gun does a ton of damage. I didn't quite realize it during the PTS, but I watched IKEA's breakdown on all the PTS stuff, and it's pretty wild. So we'll see if they actually keep it at that or if they tune it down at all. Yeah, Destiny. DJ, thank you guys so much for that. As well, Distant UK joining up to membership at classified status. Thank you. I feel like a broken record, guys. I don't want to sound insincere, but good God, the generosity already this morning is insane. Thank you for being such a wonderful community. Distant, thank you for that. Welcome to the club. Welcome back, I should say. I can see you've been a member before. Welcome back, man.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this special panel where we will talk about the future of the Division franchise. Are you excited?
All right, That's a lot of people.
That's
the
a
audio?
lot of people, and we have
Add more
cosplayers
seats
here.
just because it was too many of you, so I feel like they've just added more seats. I'm sorry I'm turning my back on you. I'll try to look in your direction sometimes, okay? If I don't, yell at me, and I'll make sure I turn in that direction, okay?
Well, I'm so excited that you're all here and everybody's watching online, wherever that camera is, because the community is really at our heart, and it's part of this panel as well, how we want to improve that collaboration and that feedback loop. Of course, the future of the franchise is also that we have Louis Troupin here to talk about the Division Resurgence, the new Division mobile game, and of course, that I know that so many of you are waiting for, we will cover that new Division 2 project.
I tried to turn it up a little bit, guys. Hopefully that's
God.
better.
I hope you like snow. I hope you like snow. Come on.
So I am Annelies Palm, I am a community developer, and I will be your host today. We have Yannick with us, our familiar face, creative director.
Hello. So good to see you.
So starting with the community and feedback. Yannick, you've been here from the very beginning, from Division 1 and Division 2, and worked with feedback. It's part of the massive DNA to work with live streams, have interactions with the community ongoingly. How have you feel that collaboration looked in the Division 1, and how has it evolved into
and
what
Matt,
it
thank
is
you for the
in Division
membership.
2 today?
Well, I think it's really at the heart of everything we do. It's been such an important part of the history of the division, and for those of you, I'm sure some of you are here since the days of Division 1. Who's been here since Division 1?
Whoa!
Has anybody not been here since Division 1?
It's all veterans.
Like all the hands went up. So you might remember some of the history that we've had. But yeah, it's from the moment we started working on the division, we started communicating about the division. We always wanted to build something that would be dear to the people who play, that would be very close to them, and that would be a collaboration. And we had, it's especially since the launch and after the launch of the Division 1, where we had our first kind of trials of fire, update 1.4. I'm sure some of you might remember. I do. I remember the before 1.4 and the after. But this was really, I think, a shaping moment for all of us on the division, realizing not just the need, but also how good it is for all of us, how necessary and potent it can be as well to actually work together hand in hand with the players. So we've been keeping that with us, working on Division 2, with the launch of Division 2, and all the way to what we're doing today. And I know sometimes, we have our ups and downs, and we don't always act as much as we want on working with the community. We don't always reach out as much as we want to do. That's something we are working towards changing, and to get back to that, to those roots of really being super open and transparent with all of you. Working more with our German community as well, because I hear there's a very active German community. So love you guys. And yeah, so you'll see more of that in the future. You'll see more opportunities for feedback, more opportunities for also transparency from us. Yeah, it's super important, and we have no intention to slow down. Quite the contrary.
Yeah, and all the veterans here, they've been playing the game for so long. They're experts at playing the game by now. And obviously the team has been playing and, developing the game for a long time, so they're also experts at developing. How do you weigh the feedback coming from the players when you work with that feedback process as a creative director?
Well, it's, feedback is super important, and, you hear that all the time, but it's the way we want to, or the way we utilize feedback is that's one indicator that helps us make decisions. It's not the only one, and it's very important for everybody to understand that just because the community and the players tell us they want something, that doesn't always necessarily mean this is what we need to do. For us, it's very important to look at what does the game need in the bigger picture and for the long term. And so we usually base our decisions on three parts. One part, and an important one, is feedback. The other one is data. It's what does the actual data of the game tell us, because that's one way of giving us feedback, is actually looking at the way you play the game. What do you do? What do you spend time on? What works and what doesn't? And then the third part is our own expertise. It's our gut feeling as
Thank you all
professionals.
for 1,500
we
people
think is
being
the
in
right
here.
thing.
Good Lord.
And we look at those three things, and sometimes those three things align, and they give us some very clear indications. Okay, this is not working. This needs to change. The players don't like it. We see with data that it's not working. We also agree that this is not the right thing. So then that makes our job easy when all of that aligns. Sometimes it doesn't. And sometimes we have one of those pillars that gives us an indication, the other ones give us another one. And then it's very important for us as a team to try to really, again, look at the long term, look at the bigger picture, look at the game, and think, okay, what is the right thing to do here? And that's where leadership comes in to try to.
I've tried to crank the volume as much as possible.
Go,
people asking in the chat.
If all of those things, in a way, conflict, very often then we're going to fall down to feedback and what players want to give us kind of a North Star, a guiding light to see, okay, if we don't have any clear indication, then we might as well do what the players want us to do.
Yeah, it feels like you're getting at that the players either confirms or challenges, your assumptions. So was there a time when feedback surprised you, changed what you had in mind, or didn't play out as expected?
Sorry, I'm done messing with it.
Yeah, I mean, it happens sometimes. It happens a lot, actually, that we make assumptions, we work on something, we're convinced it's going to be great, we put it out there, and then you folks, tell us, actually, that's not great. Most of the time, it's not worded that way. When we get feedback that tells us something is not great, usually it's not necessarily in a polite way, but that's fine. We can take it. But yeah, one example, I think, fairly recent that some of you may remember was last year we announced the big revamp of the seasons, Seasons 2.0, and part of that big revamp was the proposition of seasonal characters, which was an idea that we really believed in. And we thought, okay, this is a good way to move forward. This is a good way to bring back a sense of progression with every season, a real reason why am I chasing XP, what am I progressing, well, I actually will see my levels going up. So we went into communication very confident in our proposition. And then, if you remember, the feedback we got was actually, quite opposed to that idea. We got really challenged by the community in a fairly unanimous way from a lot of players, saying this is not a good idea. Mostly, because of the attachment that a lot of you have to your characters and to the time that you've been spending playing those characters, progressing them. And then we come here and we say, hey, you know what? Next season you start a new character. So it allowed us to look at this proposition from a different angle. And when a situation like that arises, then it's that's one of those situations where we ask ourselves, okay, what do we do? There's this one thing we think is good for the game, but we can see that people really don't like it. But at the end of the day, in this kind of situation, it's a very easy decision. Like, nobody wins if we are forcing a change that nobody wants. We are not going to push it down your throat and say, you have to like it. So we decided to change. We decided to go with the feedback and say, okay, well, we're not going to do the seasonal characters. All the work we've put into that, we're going to put it on hold. We're going to reuse it. And we're going to go back to...
the seasonal character
from a blank slate, rethinking the whole thing, which is what we did. And at the end of the day, I think this is great because this is the great common interactions we need to have, because the new seasonal model that we landed with that does not use new seasonal characters, I think is a better proposition. And I think players were right to challenge us and to push back because it made us rethink from a different angle. And actually find a better solution that is the best of both worlds. So it's great. It's great when negative feedback is also a good thing.
It's a very interesting
Jody,
case.
thank you for the
I mean, I've been here on this project since March, and being a community developer, that feedback loop is something that we're all passionate about the feedback loop and the community, but it's a little dearer to my heart, maybe. So it was an interesting case to look at and improve that process with.
Say it's interesting now. Back then, I can tell you we had a few.
Thank you for joining at Classified Status.
But I think in hindsight, it was it was a good situation, and we made the right decisions.
Yeah, one of the ways that the team early on has been gathering feedback via is the Elite Task Force program. It's our insider program. And it's been there from the start. How did you learn from that approach? What did you learn from that approach that still informs how you work and look at feedback today?
Well, what's great with having something like the Elite Task Force is it allows us to actually have a dialogue. Because when we announce something, we communicate on something, then we get that feedback. We take that feedback. We try to to curate it, to understand what are really the friction points here. Then we have to think of another proposition, get back to the community. With the Elite Task Force, the great thing is that we can have a direct discussion with some select people that are
hang tight, folks. I know people are like, "Where's the news?"
Base.
They said, just like yesterday.
We can have direct discussions.
It's
we
split
can
into two
have
parts.
them
They're talking
be
about feedback, and then they're getting into all the news.
To some of our problems and some of our challenges, which is a great thing. It allows us to create a real trust relationship with them, and hopefully with a greater player base because they know they are being represented.
Just like yesterday, they talked about Brooklyn, and then they got into all the news.
It's another way to get not just feedback,
Thank you for it. I appreciate the kind words.
The people that at the end of the day are the people who play the game, who experience this on a daily basis. So it makes sense that those people are part of the development process.
Oliver, I'm completely
I hope we're going to get to do that even
I'm
more,
with the rest
to get
of you.
even more people. I would love to have everyone part of it. That's a lot of conversation then, but yeah, it's something we started doing with the Division 1 that stayed with us all the way now to Division 2.
Yeah, we even got to do some finishing touches on Brooklyn.
Yeah, we did one for Brooklyn before the launch of Battle for Brooklyn. And even though this came towards the end of the production of the DLC, still getting that final feedback, allowing us to do the final polish and do some final tweaks based on those conversations we had, allowed us to deliver an even greater DLC, and that contributed to a very successful launch, but brought us to very high numbers that we hadn't seen since the days of Warlords of New York. So the Division 2 is in a great place today, and this is all thanks to the work we've been doing with the community and including the Elite Task Force in the process.
Yeah, I really feel like it adds depth to the conversations to have this, because it's something that's very hard when you look online and you read all the comments. People hate something or they love something. So it's a little ask for me and the community team to please make us understand why. If you don't like something or love something, then please just add those extra seconds to let us know what's the reasoning behind it. Yannick, as we look to the future of the division, what does a healthy creative partnership look like with the community to you?
Well, I think it's it's doing more of it, and it's really finding the right way to integrate that voice even more again in the development process. It's testing earlier, it's bringing players in earlier, it's giving visibility earlier, it's thinking long term, building programs that are going to stay with us in the future as we keep building Division 2, and creating a bit of a healthier exchange where we can feel confident in sharing our early thoughts, and the community can feel confident in giving us feedback, positive or negative, once again, so we know how to treat that, and we can have the early signs when we make those decisions to make sure that we can react and make the changes that are needed.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But, Anaïs, I do have a question for you, because we talk about feedback, but this needs to be a two-way relationship. So what's in it for the community? What do they get from that?
I mean, the short and easy answer is transparency. We're working to share information earlier and earlier, and it also has to do with giving that right level of context, because feedback only can truly mean something if they understand the full context around it. And it's where it becomes the most valuable, when it's specific, informed, and builds on this clear picture of what we're imagining and given that context. So we've been, talking about involving the community earlier and earlier, which is super exciting. At the same time, we know that things can shift around, and we don't want to set expectations too soon. So it's really about finding that sweet spot, to share the information. And one of the best ways to do it is through insider programs, because then, it's NDAs involved, we can share more, it's all this spicy, juicy stuff. So we're working towards this, and it's actually already in motion. We're happy to announce that the Elite Task Force has opened its gates. So if you're interested in getting information early, you're good at giving feedback, you want to make your voice heard, then
As someone who
please
is in the
sign
ETF,
up using the
if you
QR
feel
code
like you're passionate
or
about the
go
game,
to
I
the
definitely
link. It
recommend
will be
signing
open
up.
until Sunday. So make sure to sign up.
I see some
Submissions
new
open till
candidates
Sunday?
here.
Yeah, some
Only
people
2
are
days?
already signing up.
Jeez.
Leo back home is gonna
Well, then get on it.
have to go through all the applications.
Good.
Yes. So we talked about how we built the division with our players over the years, and we will discuss how this philosophy is continuing on the new project coming up soon on the Division 2. But before that, let's see how it looks on the Resurgence, the new mobile title.
All right, here's our Resurgence news.
So I want to introduce Louis Tropin, brand director on the Division Resurgence. Welcome.
He's right there.
Hello.
Please
Hello.
join me. It's
In
nice and
your-
comfy here.
Nice comfy living
Hi,
room.
Louis.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. Can you share a little bit about yourself?
Yes, actually, so I'm Louis. I've been working on the division for quite a while now with this guy since 2018, so 8 years. Okay.
I've been on the division for 10 years. I've worked
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Yeah,
everyone on
Resurgence
the
started
division.
development in
you're
2018.
the oldest.
It's been in the
but I
works
have
for a
the
long time.
most gray hair, so I win. But yeah, anyway, very happy to be here to finally speak a bit more about Resurgence. Again, I want to say.
Nice. Could you give us, for those who are not familiar with the game, just like the elevator pitch of what is this game?
Yeah, so basically in very short words, it's an online, massively multiplayer role-play game, which sounds familiar because it's basically the experience you get with the Division on console and PC, but adapted to mobile format.
That sounds like so much fun.
It does.
It does. What about the storyline? What can you tell us about the Division Resurgence story?
Well, I can jump in the storyline, but maybe just before I could give you a
Some
bit
new
more
key
details
art.
on how we are adapting it for mobile.
Let's go for that.
Actually, to let you know a little bit what I hinted at, we actually worked on this with an extensive team to make sure that we adjusted, obviously, the controls of the game itself, because you all here or online know that the Division is actually quite a deep and broad type of experience. So something we're really focused on is making sure that the gameplay experience, handheld, but also touch-based, was perfect for everyone to be able to enjoy the game at its fullest. We are obviously controller compatible for this game as soon as we'll be launching, but you can really adjust everything you want on the controls. You can the size
think
of the
the biggest
button,
thing
you
that a
can
lot of
move
people
them around,
forget
everything you
about mobile
want
games
to
is
make
that
sure that
worldwide,
you
it's
really
the biggest
dig-
gaming market,
dive-
like by several
dive
times
deep
over.
into
So even if none
the
of us
experience that the
are
Division
interested in
Resurgence
Resurgence,
has
if it gets an audience
has
and
to
it's
offer.
rolling in money, that's still good for us. in the
Another
long run.
example of what we did actually is to adjust
Yeah,
not
the
only
Destiny
the
mobile game
controls but also
has like 10
the
million
gameplay itself,
pre-registers.
what the game has to
It's
offer.
wild how many people play.
Obviously, keeping the core of
mobile
the
games.
looter shooter that the Division has to offer, but we basically adjusted the length of some of the activities, most of the activities. The open world activities are what we call more snackable. You can play them really easily on the go, but you'll also get those longer sessions through the main missions that still are shorter than what you would get on PC or console, but still offer those epic moments, those immersive moments into this beautiful world that the team at Massive actually has created and that we are perpetuating on mobile.
Nice. Story. I'm eager for the story. I'm a lore nerd. I need...
We can go into the story. I know a lot of people here actually are interested in what the Division lore has to tell.
Yes.
And for Resurgence, we actually worked very closely with the teams over at Massive to make sure that whatever we tell is coherent, consistent, logical with what the main entries, this one being also main entry, they all have a story, a cohesive story to tell. So typically we are introducing new factions, familiar faces from the Division 1,
Happy to hear, Jamie.
but
Thank you
also
for
we are
watching.
really bridging that gap between the Division 1 and the Division 2. something that you'll get to experience as a player of Resurgence is actually the moment where the first wave of agents are being activated. So that's something we get to play as in the prologue. It's the very first few missions. So once you complete the tutorial, then you get really thrown into the midst of the original chaos. That's just very biblical, actually, but you see what I mean, really the beginning of the story. And then we actually pick up after the events of the Division 1, when society, or at least civilians, have started to rebuild. And really the story of Resurgence is about that, is to make sure to help those early settlements that
those
are
asking,
building
the snow stuff has not come yet.
in the
I imagine
open
that's
world,
going to be after this.
in the area of Manhattan, to move along, get along, and survive the somewhat still chaotic situation that is taking place in Manhattan. So yeah.
So new.
I think most important question is because you say it's in the timeline Division 1 and all that. Does it have snow?
So it has.
I hear people like snow.
It has melting snow.
Does it have beautiful snow?
That works. I think
Okay.
Yes. Sometimes it snows. Yes.
Nice.
So new canon story.
It's definitely a new canon story. It's entirely part of the story of the franchise. Very happy about that.
Really cool. So we talked about how we're working with the feedback in the Division 2. How do you leverage that knowledge, and how will you work with it for the Resurgence?
Well, we're very happy to have our crash test dummies right here, who are playtesting everything for us. No, I'm kidding. Basically, what I want to say is we obviously look at what's happening already today in the universe of the Division 2. Typically, the Brooklyn DLC.
We are a guinea pig for you, is what
you are. But we'll throw it back to you once we're live.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
But basically, we check out how it's
regardless
received,
of how you feel about the game, that's good that they're using.
Educates us in how we should interact with this community,
and
also what type of content would be interesting to look into in the future for Resurgence. But the game has been announced in 2022, and it has already been through several loops of tests, as you may or may not know. And we've already been lucky enough to get some very, very valuable feedback from people from around the world, and that's stuff that already we used to adjust. And if I take just very quick examples, the introduction, the tutorial has been reworked using that feedback. The balancing of the games, has been reworked. The progression pacing has been reworked. So it's really stuff that we value a lot when we have that feedback. And that's why we're looking forward actually to see how the ETF is evolving in a sense and reopening its gates, because we're also looking into ways to make sure that we get those direct interactions, those very in-depth interactions with our most engaged players, some already existing from the past tests, but also new ones that will be coming up, joining us hopefully. And we really want to make sure that everyone's voice gets heard, and then if it makes sense, to act on it. For sure.
Sounds like a good plan, and my voice is breaking.
We're losing you.
So what's the next step?
The next step for us, actually, I kind of hinted at that.
That's tragic. That's my worst
I'm very happy to confirm it. Is we're heading back into testing phase for the project. So it's been a while since the last tech took place, I'm pretty sure you know. But I can confirm that the next close test will be taking place in September. So that's right around the corner, actually.
Okay, finally, and
you can indeed already come and start registering for it. It will be both for Android and iOS. And by that, sorry, I got confused. Getting served on the. That's perfect. But anyway, yes, you can jump in right now, go register, and maybe you have a chance to join our next test this September. It's actually, hopefully, the first step in the next stages for this game that's coming up soon to you all in free-to-play format on iOS and Android phones.
More division for everyone. But
yes. More division for everyone.
Best.
Thank you for that deep dive into Resurgence, Louis. It's amazing to see this franchise growing and evolving with the community at its heart. My voice is breaking, but I'm too excited to care. Yes, I'm too excited to care, because now we're going to talk about that other project on the horizon.
It's time.
Please welcome Magnus Jansen, Creative Director.
Wait, what? Folks, this is big.
Welcome.
Oh,
This
thank
is
you.
big. Magnus was the original creative director on Division 1, like
Could
10
you
years ago.
introduce yourself a little bit more for
Oh,
our
yeah.
audience?
So, hello, my name is Magnus. I'm a creative director at Massive, just like
He
Yannick.
100% is working on survival.
Super happy to be
for
here.
March. I'm calling
exciting.
it now. I'm calling it.
My voice is amazing, of course, for 2 more minutes. And I work at Massive. I worked there for 20 years.
Yeah, he's a veteran
And
over there.
one of the things I did was that I had the privilege to be the creative director on the first Division game, released in 2016. And that was a fantastic time. Then I was away from the world of the Division for a few years, but now I am back and working on something very, very exciting.
What? Come on.
We can wait it now. Okay. So I am super proud and thrilled to announce to you and to the world that we are working on
Say it.
the Division 2 Survivors.
Woo!
Not
That
survival.
sounds familiar.
Survivors.
So I know you can't reveal too much, but what can you share about the Division 2 survivors?
As some of you had already figured out, right? You know, the
Say it.
wintry survival extraction experience
Let's
is
fucking go.
coming to the Division 2.
Let's go.
And I know
Let's
some
go.
of you are, like me, fans of the survival mode that we had in the first division. And obviously, we think that those of you who like that will be very, very happy. But it's more than a remake, right? We are doing cool new things.
Oh my God.
I can't reveal much more than that. But what I will say, and this is like a teaser, is that a hint to maybe the biggest new thing we're doing is right there in the name. So I'll just leave that there, and then I'll be back next year, okay?
Let the people figure it out.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure there will be plenty of theories.
That's or we don't know, and this is community involvement. I
Yeah.
don't know.
But so, you know, I asked earlier, like, how many of you were here since the days of Division 1? A lot of hands raised.
You said the teaser's
so
in the
I think
name?
you have, amongst other people, this guy to
Survivors.
thank because he was the original creative
I mean, yeah, it's
director.
going to be multiplayer, I'm
Round of
sure.
applause for Magnus, please. That's
That's
some
wild
respect.
that Magnus is back. I know y'all
It's a
don't know who that
privilege
is,
for me
but
to get to work with Magnus. A great inspiration. So, why did you come back, Magnus?
I mean, look at this. It's like, is this not enough of a reason to come back? No, I mean, as I said, I was away for a while, but I did play, and I did play the Division 2 throughout
go,
all
people.
that time, and I'm so impressed what you've been doing. The game is really fun. New things added all the time, and as I was playing and running through the city, there's this feeling that I had that could this environment be explored
Oh, show
through
us
a
that picture.
very different gameplay lens? Could we have the survival experience here in Washington? And that was, and then one thing led to another, and here we are. So that was really like the origin.
Yeah, and with the Elite Task Force program being revamped, how are we planning to work with them?
Yeah, I mean, as Yannick was saying, like we've been making multiplayer games at Massive for 3 decades, and we're always getting better at testing in a real environment, not inside but outside with real players. And as Yannick was saying, like we constantly evolving and improving, and we tend to find that we want to, testing earlier is better than we always need to test earlier than we thought, and we always need to test more than we thought. And now, can't get much earlier than this.
So much
because
snow.
I don't even have a T-shirt for the game, like you guys do. And then of course more, right? And personally, there's this anecdote that I like to talk about when there's new employees that are like, what do you mean we're gonna tell people, about the game, when we hardly have anything more than to show than this? Well, I say, like,
He keeps saying about
listen,
the game.
like
but
we thought we tested the Division 1 really well.
I assume it's an update.
You know, we had alphas and betas, but still on launch day, you know, we didn't test Brooklyn. And then when on launch day we all got to Brooklyn and we wanted to activate as agents, and like, well, but you're out of luck. There's a queue to the friggin' laptop to activate it. I mean, who here was in queue to activate on the laptop in Division
Me,
1? Right, exactly.
raise hand. I was.
So, you know, which is that's the proof, right? We need to test not just early, but we need to test more. And the Elite
I don't
Task
think it's
Force
going to be paid.
is,
People who are saying
you know,
that in the
if you
chat.
want to be
That was one of their biggest
in
learnings
on that,
from
that's
original
where
Survival.
that's where we will go to first.
Nice. So signed. I can't.
So I think
take over.
I feel
so.
so
This
bad.
is another. Thank you, Anais. Your contribution will be remembered. But this is another reason why you need to sign up to the ETF. So if you didn't scan the QR code, don't worry. I'm sure there will be plenty of opportunities to find it. I'm sure it's going to be online. But yeah, please sign up. We really want to have as many people as we can. And it starts with the ETF, as Magnus said, and then, of course, we will be expanding to more and more people. So thank you so much. And yeah, there's a lot happening in the world of the Division, so maybe we can actually show a bit of a recap. Yesterday, we had already a panel. We talked about some of the stuff.
Oh, so it's not going to be in March. I was wrong.
That is actually presented here. So
This is just
here,
a
just to recap everything, we are
long-term
currently
thing.
ending the season that is called Crossroads. This is the season that started with the release of Battle for Brooklyn. Then after that, we are just about to start our next season, which is the one called The Pact. We talked about it yesterday. If you've been following the news, following the PTS, you know a bit about it. This is a season that is going to be about territory control. We're bringing a new feature called Retaliation, where the factions will push back in the world against you based
Fortunately,
on your,
Yannick has that
based on your on what you're
background. He can
doing
jump
and how
in.
much you're fighting against them.
Desmond, thank you for the 10, my
and
friend.
it's coming also with a whole new set of modifiers here once again based on the idea of territory control. After that, after that, it's about you.
Yes, we have Resurgence coming up, so same thing. Don't forget to go sign up. I'm sure you'll all get the recap or the QR code after that, making sure that we have your valuable feedback also for this brand new experience in the universe of the Division.
Yeah. And then we're going to get into the following season for the Division 2, the new season that is called Mutiny. And we also talked a bit about it yesterday, and I know that online at least it made a bit of noise, but yes, this season will come with a new ID, the concept of companion NPCs, so you will be able to play with NPCs alongside you. I will not say more. You'll have to wait a bit more for more news on that. That will be from December and leading us all the way to March, which, as you all know, because you're all Division specialists here, March is an important month. It's
Chrome,
the
thank you for the
anniversary month
membership.
for the Division. And this March 2026, is a very important one because that's going to be the 10 years anniversary since that very day with the laptop, the Brooklyn laptop.
Yeah, the laptop day.
The laptop day in the history of the Division. So this will be the 10 years anniversary of the launch of Division 1 and of the franchise in general. So expect big celebration and a lot of news until then. Then there's a whole bunch of other things that are not even on this timeline, but we're already working on and planning. There's a great future ahead of us for the Division 2. More seasons, more content, more big stuff that we're not even going to share here on top of everything we've talked about. And somewhere in the future, once you finally get a T-shirt, then the Survivors experience.
We're back, man.
That's at least the recap.
No sleep till Division 3, man.
So
Big
let
plans.
me check the notes because this is not my part.
Survivors.
This is a nice part.
Anniversary.
But yeah, when we can share more with you, of course, we will be doing that. There's a great future ahead of us. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for your support. It means a lot to us. And yeah, there wouldn't be 10 years anniversary of the Division. There wouldn't be 10 years without having you part of it and the help and the support
Chris, thank you
and
for the
the
upgrade.
feedback that we've been getting. So once again, thank you. Thank you, everybody online. Hope you're happy with what you've heard. And again, stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of news. Please register to the ETF. Please register to the test for Resurgence. We need your feedback. We need you for hopefully another great 10 years of the division. So thank you, everyone.
My goodness, man. I assume they're cutting off. Wow. They did it. They did it. All right. We're going to chat for just a few minutes, and then I need to go make a video. Can we... I don't think they've posted yet. Yeah, the whole timeline. The whole timeline is just people talking about it. Oh my goodness, man. They're doing survival in Division 2. Survivors. But it's a long ways out, so it's not going to be in March, which was my original thought. It's going to be further out. Andre said, what did I miss? They're bringing survival to Division 2. It happened. It really happened. So we can go back to that timeline. So yeah, we're right here right now. We're about to head into Season 2 on September 9th. They're doing a resurgence test next month as well. December, we get Season 3. Anniversary in March. And then they don't know about this. It's wild that Magnus is back. Like, this is an entirely other project, basically, at Massive. Is my understanding. Like, they're bringing on a whole other creative director just to work on that. Like, that's pretty big. And I think this is exactly the kind of stuff that we're going to continue to see leading towards Division 3. They're going to bring more and more people back into the fold, more and more resources. Like, that's actually, I don't want to say it's bigger news than Survival, but the fact that they're like bringing on a new team to work on that, that's kind of insane. Gab with the 5, thank you. Oh, he said this is Paleo. I just said, but I can't type chats. If you give it 60 seconds, it should then let you. There's a little buffer to try and prevent bots. That might be the issue. But thank you for the 5. You didn't have to drop that. Thank you so much. Chris as well, upgrading to classified status. Welcome. Thank you so much. Yeah, Cab, I did notice that he kept saying the game. I assume that's just a translation thing, because a lot of the people there, English is not their first language, so sometimes you can't always pick apart their exact sentences, but it is notable. But it does say the Division 2. Like, they're not branding it as something else. But I don't know. It is certainly notable that it has its own creative director and team, like I said. Hopefully they got Magnus working on Division 3. I think he's on Survivors. Julian and probably Matthias Carlson, who was the game director under Julian back in the day. He's now creative director on LinkedIn, so I think he's Division 3's creative director, and Julian is overseeing all of this stuff. What a time to be alive. If you had told me 4 years ago, when we were in 2021, in the 15-month content drought, that one day they would have multiple teams working on Division stuff, that we would get Survival back in Division 2, I would have told you were crazy. As I tweeted, or as I replied to the game's tweet yesterday, I'm going to find it right now. Not that one. This. Nothing more to say than that. It's wild. Shadow of Hunters upgrading to classified as well. You guys are insane. Thank you so much. Shadow, Chris, and Chris. There we go. You guys are amazing. Thank you. I mean, just think about the trajectory, right? Rest of year 7. Each new season seems like it's bringing more and more. Anniversary in March, then Survivors. Division 3 is probably not that long after that. That's the curious part. And I think this kind of, for all the people who are still holding out hope that Division 3 is coming next year, it's not. they'll probably release Survivors in 26, and then we're probably waiting until 28 for Division 3, because they're not going to put all that effort into something that's just going to get left behind 6 months later. You know what I mean? Karazi, very good to see you. Thank you for the $2. The heck you mean 2021 was 4 years ago. Sorry. I know it doesn't feel right. Thank you for the 2, and good to see you, Karazi. Hope you're doing well. Distant said the Division franchise is amazingly live. The resources being thrown at it shows me that we're good for quite some time. 100%. I laugh, frankly, at the comments that are like, they don't like something that's coming in one season, and they're like, well, I guess that's it for Division. That's really sad. I'm like, okay. I've been hearing that since 2016, and so far we're still here. It's a very interesting idea, Ego. Interesting for sure. Mutilated Crow said, did I miss anything? I just joined. You might have missed something. Just maybe. Here, I'll find you a post. Ah, look at all these from Skills. Yeah, they're bringing survival back to Division 2. They are bringing it back. This is kind of wild. Like, are we going to be flying around on helicopters? I'll tell you one thing. I wouldn't be shocked if Survivors is when they cut off last-gen consoles. I'm sorry to say it, but I would be very surprised if they're able to get whatever they want to do for this running on an Xbox One, to be frank with you. That's just a prediction. But yeah, the Division 2 Survivors. Okay, I do need to go pretty soon here because I have a recap video to make. But this I will leave up right now. They said that the first people who are going to get to test and try out Survivors are the ETF. And they have just opened up ETF registrations. I think they only said until Sunday. Maybe I misheard that. But I think it's a limited window that they're opening up registrations for the ETF. I'm in that program. I think if you're someone who is very passionate about the game and who wants to have that more direct line of communication and be able to give feedback, give your honest thoughts, it's a very beneficial program. It's been around since the early days of Division 1, so definitely sign up. You can do so if you scan this. I'll be sure to include this in the video later in case you're not at a good point to do it right now. Distant said they applied. Nice. Look at the channel number on that helicopter. Don't start with this. Three. Oh man, 3 news. Come on. But that's the thing, right? If they're marking this as a Division 2 thing, then I think that just confirms that Division 3 is indeed still going to be a ways out, you know? Justin said, why are they never looking at fixing PvP in this game? Previously, it's been due to a lack of resources. They lost their PvP team years ago. That said, with everything we've just seen today, with all the resources they're committing, I would not be surprised if we start seeing some more PvP love in the coming, maybe not soon, but coming up. I am going to make a PvP video this week. I've been putting it off, but it's going to happen, where I talk about the state of PvP, because I think, as a lot of you know from watching my videos, I love PvP. It's still my most played thing in the division, so I want to see it thrive as much as possible. So yeah, hopefully we get more stuff there, but they haven't been doing it because it's the lesser played side of the game, and they lost their PvP team. Mr. Dramatic with the 5, salute to RogueGold survival in the Division 2. Are you excited? Oh, you best believe I am. I don't want to get too amped up, though, because as they said, it's a long ways away. It's a long ways away. I would say minimum from right now, like 9 months out, probably. If they can't, they didn't even say 26 specifically, did they? Who had the timeline? Yeah, they don't even specifically commit to 2026. So I see this being like a 1 year from now kind of thing. I mean, as Magnus said, they don't even have t-shirts yet. It's a very early project. So yeah, folks, that's about all we've got. I'm gonna hop off of here because I'm really excited to make a recap video, and there's a lot of people who couldn't tune into the stream who I know are waiting for me to get that done, and I want to share the great news to them. This is a pretty awesome day. Survivor's confirmed. They said there's a lot coming for the Division franchise, and as Yannick said yesterday, they've got plans for years to come. So it's a good time to be a Division fan. I cannot thank you all enough for the insane generosity this stream. I mean, what the hell? Boss Dogs with the 100. Everybody else dropping memberships. Mr. Stein's right here with the $20 super sticker. Thank you. Again, you guys are insane. I have the best community I could ever hope or ask for here on YouTube. It's incredible that I've been able to build it just following the one silly little game that I like. So thank you all so much for being here with me. Thank you for tuning into this, watching it with me. I hope you all were satisfied, got what you wanted out of it. There's going to be plenty to talk about coming up. Again, we have next season coming in just 2.5 weeks. Resurgence test next month. And then we keep on rolling towards all the future stuff. So again, Boss Dog specifically, I gotta give you a shout out and thank you. Everybody else who joined as a member, who donated, thank you for supporting what I do. That's beyond kind of you. And to the 2,300 people we had in here at one point, this might have been the most viewed stream ever on my channel. Thank you for being here. You guys are amazing. So I'm going to go record a recap and get it posted. If you want to, still give that a click later, give it a like, even though you saw the news, I would appreciate it. But either way, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching my stuff. Thank you for supporting. And yeah, lots coming up. I'll see y'all then. Until later, RogueGold out.